Um, Speaking of personal experiences, and I know that so many of us have had issues. We have a very interesting guest who himself has a background in electronic product development and used to play tennis and windsurf, bit of an action man. We're going to listen to his story because it's truly fascinating and could apply to any one of us. So Tom Gaskell, tell us a bit about yourself and your heart. I think we're members of the same club in a way.
Yeah, I think we are. It was summer 2018, and I was an unfit, overweight, 63-year-old business consultant. My local lake, Grafham Water, shortly after the end of my windsurfing session, I had no warning, there was no chest pain. I just suddenly, for no obvious reason, went into cardiac arrest. My friends were able to do CPR and use the local defibrillator, and within an hour I was at Papworth Hospital having a stent fitted. Great shock. I then went on, as we were hearing a moment ago, on to Papworth's brilliant 12-week cardiac rehab program. That was to build my fitness and my confidence after the events. Bought myself an Apple Watch to monitor my heart rate and my ECG, and what the ECG side of it showed me was I had some odd ectopic heartbeats or palpitations. So a 7-day Holter monitor test was arranged, and this suggested these were really quite benign and nothing to worry about. So I kept exercising. But just over a year later, on holiday in Greece, again with no warning, no obvious reason, no chest pain or anything, I had heart attack number 2. The local hospital in Rhodes tried to give me a new stent, but they weren't able to, and I was just confined to 10 days bed rest, now sent home with heart failure. So I went to another cardiac rehab program at Papworth, which helped me rebuild strength, fitness and confidence. In January this year, I had 2 new stents fitted at Papworth, followed by cardiac rehab program number 3. Now, this time with COVID-19 threatening everybody, I wanted to build my heart strength to the maximum possible. So I started running for the first time in our local park. And I combined this with the home exercises from Papworth, and I did it at the optimum level, 90 minutes a day, 6 days a week, within my heart rate target limits. I got offered a ETT, an exercise treadmill test, with a view to putting my heart rates up. Great, I can do more. But this was stopped partway through because I started having some quite nasty ectopic heartbeats. That's where the heartbeats are out of place and the wrong shape, and the heart doesn't actually work properly. So instead of doing all this and then putting my heart rate limit up so I can run faster, they actually put my heart rate limit down. Great, thanks a lot. It was suggested that I tried a Frontier X monitor, which would show ECGs during exercise. The Apple Watch can't do this. You've got to be sort of stationary and calm to take an ECG. And when I stop running, I don't get the bad ectopics. I've got to be actually moving to get them. And the Frontier X instead showed my ECG and cardiac strain and exertion and heart rate throughout every exercise session. And what it showed was, as I was warming up for exercise, not at the peak, not at the beginning, but during warm-up, I will get ectopics. Normally just 1, 2, or 3 beats of ectopics, which is safe, but on 2 occasions, much longer episodes of up to 22 beats, which weren't. These were, as I understand, ventricular tachycardia, which is not good. I couldn't tell they were happening. I was symptom-free. I couldn't feel them, but they were happening. So I was fitted with a 24-hour Holter monitor. Results from that, nothing at all. Some short bursts, but no long ones. On the basis of that, my consultant said, look, there's no need to do anything. You're fine. Then I shared my Frontier X results with him. And he could see that the short ectopics visible on the Holter results and the long bursts that I'd shown on the Frontier X had the same shape, they came from the same source, they had the same trigger mechanism, and this completely changed the prognosis. We do now need to do something. So I go into Papworth next week for an ablation procedure. When I first talked to my cardiologists about the Frontier X, they were a bit apprehensive. You could see them thinking, oh, here we go again. Another anxious patient with a gadget, mountains of data, what are we going to do? I have to be responsible. I've got to monitor my results. I've got to learn what data I do need to share. So when there is something important, like my long VT bursts, I can share the Frontier Act results at the specific points at which issues occurred, not expect them to trawl through everything. Without this, we might never have known. We wouldn't have known I had an ectopic problem. I would probably increase my exercise, done more, done it faster, for longer. There was a real risk of the ectopics getting out of control. I could very easily have become that guy who drops dead when running in the park. That's why it seems to me that health and fitness are becoming effectively democratized. They're becoming collaborative. It's more now a partnership, I think, between the cardiologists, the rehab and fitness experts, the device suppliers and their systems, and me. I have to say, I find that really empowering and reassuring. I'm really grateful for it.